Thank you.
All right, Oren.
Amy, we waiting on you. Let's go. Chop
All
chop.
No, we're
right.
waiting on me. No, not we're not waiting on her.
Okay.
Aloha, Dakota. Good morning,
Hello,
Oren.
Mamie.
I am so excited to be on this call today. Why? Because Ken Rashawn changed my life. And he changed my life because he gave me new meaning about why I keep smiling, Oren. And I smile because I love what I do in life. And what I do in life is this: I help people move from invisible to influential. And I get to help people ignite their passion and rise into their purpose. And this island girl from Hawaii went from island life to international speaker. I'm the founder of I3 Empowerment Solutions, as well as Ignite Your Passion program. And the biggest thing that I love about bringing the voice to a stage is that every single person has a story, and every single person has a voice to tell it with. And so for me, I get to travel the world igniting passions, mainly with women of empowerment, because of the resilience that I've really worked to overcome over my life. And for me, my biggest motto in life is this: to dream so big that you get to fit other people's dreams in it. That's what keeps me smiling. How about you out there, listeners? You know, for me, the ascension to greatness isn't about my story. It's about the story of the people who come into my life. Dakota, you've been one of them, yes. And being able to capture what they love, what their zone of genius is, what their passion is, really helps me fulfill the mission to really light up other people. And I want to tell you a little bit more about why there's a purpose that fuels the smile that I have behind me. And that is because, smiling isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. And igniting your passion, or igniting the passion in others so that they can create lives that matter, well, that is the businesses that I serve and the legacies that last. And for me, I don't believe we leave legacies. I say the more important thing is to live your legacy. Live your legacy. Because when you can align your purpose with what your passion is, you get to show up every day and smile. Every day and smile. And when you can align what you love about life, the legacy follows. So I want you to think about that. Every person has a story to tell. What's yours? And that is the passion that I love to bring to stages, because, a story is not just what happened to you. I really do believe that the stories that we tell is what I call the fire starter to your future. Now, how does that come into play? Well, we can tell our story so many different ways. Ken and Dakota and Michelle, they help us tell our stories through the written form. Imagine this Smile-A-Thon is helping us tell our stories a different way. And for me, getting people ready for stages, for their book, for their podcasts, to outshine their brands or shine their brands, that is what life is all about. Wouldn't you agree, listeners? Imagine this, you don't just tell your story. You can take your story and start igniting transformation for people out there. And what I found dear to my heart, coming from Hawaii, we have an oral history. So our history is passed on through our culture through the art of storytelling. And so when we get to tell our stories, we get to light a flame that allows us to share and keep that story going. And when we can spark a story, we never know who out there in our audience who may have needed to hear that story. And that's why I always say, the story that we have inside of us, that gift needs to come on out. Why? Because the gift of your story could unlock the prison that someone else is going through. Isn't that amazing? One of my mentors, Tony Robbins, said, if I could impact the life of just one person, guys, just one person, if I could impact the life of one person, I could ripple effect out to 350,000 people.
Mamie changed my life for sure.
Aw, thank you, Dakota.
You were actually there for 2 pivotal moments in my early upbringing.
Oh my God. Well, every time I see you, I just want to keep hugging you, honey.
I told you it's my infectious smile. It's that energy.
Absolutely. And you know what else is so amazing is the way that you just capture your gaze just captures people, Dakota. And that's what I mean about lighting that flame, lighting that passion. And I know I told you, Dakota, go out there, dream so big that you can fit other people's dreams in it. And look at you. Today, you are the fire starter, and you are now carrying on that big smile. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So, for me, smiling through the fire, that's about you taking what you have inside of here and then speaking it out into existence. No matter what it is, like I said, the story that you could tell could unlock grief. It could unlock trauma. It could unlock choosing love. And when we get to share our stories, we bring smiles, not just to ourselves, but to the audience that we speak to. And if we can impact the life of one person, that could ripple effect out to that 350,000. Imagine the impact that we can bring to the world. Smiling is not just the joy. For me, smiling goes a little deeper. It's about the vow to serve, to lead, and to ignite greatness in others. And so for me, smiling is contagious. And when we get to smile, we drum up all those emotions from others. And then we get to hold that sacred space so that others rise. For me, I'm not looking for more leaders when I go out there to talk. No, I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for more leaders. More leaders that will step up and walk beside me. And when it's their turn to take that lead, and then have someone else lead and another lead, that is part of the fire that I'm looking to spread. And so one last thing I'd like to share is that, smiles are very sacred. Smiles are very sacred. They say, I'm still here, guys. I'm still rising. And I'm still lighting the way. And greatness is not about being seen. It really is about becoming the spark and the light for other people. And I'm going to say thank you to the team that has put on this Smile-A-Thon, because imagine this, we got 24 hours of smiling, and we're keeping that flame open for other people. Any questions out there?
Mamie-Jean, are you sure you're not Billie Jean? Is Michael Jackson?
I'm just the girl from the Hawaiian Islands, Oren.
That's awesome. Does anybody ever hit you with that Billie Jean, or they ever say anything like that?
What was
So
that question, good sir? What did you ask? I didn't hear
I,
you.
I said that am I good? Can you hear me? I said, does
Yeah,
anybody ever tease you and say anything about Billie Jean? Maybe Jean?
Mamie-Jean, Billie
Mamie
Jean.
Jean.
Well, I can tell you this, Oren, what I have in common with Billie Jean is that fire. Yes, that fire inside of her that showed how resilient she was. Yes.
Yes. I love what you said. I love what I really love about what you said about ignite the greatness within. I like that. Where did you get that from?
You know, ignite. So for me, if I cannot ignite my own passion from inside of me, how do I keep that beacon of light for others? And I have made it a mission of mine, Oren, to really not be afraid to show up for who I am. And the other thing, I show up because what I stand for is what has gotten me this far. And so that's why igniting your passion for me is so important, that we share that light with everyone, because there are days, and I know I get there are days where sometimes I'm not sure if my light's shining anymore, but guess what? I just get out of bed and that light has to shine from me. And that's where the ignition every morning. Right now it's 3:54 in the morning. And when Ken said, "Hey, Mamie, would you come in and talk at the early hours?" I said, "Absolutely," because Oren, I'm not really sure who's out there waiting to hear the message of igniting their passion. And so I'll get up anytime, anywhere, any place to share that light. That good?
Yeah, you said the word serve, lead, and ignite greatness in others, and I think you just did that. So for that, I say thank you. I appreciate you. So serve, lead. When Ken asked you to jump on at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you said, "I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna lead, I'm gonna ignite the greatness in others," and you have ignited my greatness, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.